Hello, thought I'd take advantage of a warm bank holiday to demonstrate the use of a telescope. This is the 70 millimeter Astromaster EQ that I've often recommended. For some reason you can't easily get them now, but you can see, in contrast to the standard equatorial you've been seeing, standard Altazimuth, sorry. This is the equatorial version, and more often than not the OTA, which is just the tube here and encompasses all the tube down to here, and the dovetail here that fixes into the mount is the OTA, optical tube assembly, the Astromaster 70. And if you look at the side, there's some details about it. So this is 70 EQ, so no prizes for guessing that's a 70 millimeter diameter or aperture lens at the top, objective lens, and focal ratio of 900 millimeter. And if you divide the 70 into the 900, you'll get 13. So the focal ratio is 13 on this, which is kind of long. So this is a good overall beginner's instrument. You want to make sure when setting it up that is set to your latitude. It's about roughly 52 degrees here, so it's not going to be spot on, but as close to it as you can get. The pole star is actually up in that direction, so this is slightly off. But you'd have that sort of moved around just in a knob to get that kind of there, then use this knob here to move this up and down to get more finer polar alignment. And you can use the finder here to help get the pole star into that. When you've done it using these controls here, the knob underneath that, which you can see there, and this to finally polar aligned, then you'll have it spot on. The other thing you'll notice as well are these fine worm gears. If you look very slowly, you can see that weight moving from left to right as I turn that. And conversely, you've got one here which will move the tube as well, if you can see that as I'm moving it. So you can use that instead of having to undo things and move around. You can follow things manually, and of course the better polar aligned you are, the more you will rely just on this movement here to follow the instrument, the object, not so much this one. Eyepieces, you've seen my diagrams, but here we are talking about them. That's the Celestron 10 millimeter, so that's going to be kind of higher magnification than the Celestron 20 millimeter. And what I'm going to do in a minute, hold on, I should show you this as well. So you've got the star diagonal there, so there'll be a prism inside here, and that will fit underneath into here. That'll enable you to sort of not have to limbo underneath to see through the eyepiece. You can use the star. This will be very valuable, very useful. That what I'm going to do in another video is use this to do a solar projection, so you can see how to safely do that. But before I go, let's have a look. This, yeah, doesn't have the stop down aperture. Usually there's like a donut in the middle, you can pull the secondary dust cap off. I showed you that in the solar system when we were talking about observing the sun. This doesn't have it, but still nevertheless it's a good telescope. And the other good thing about this as well is it's kind of relatively solid. You can pop your eyepieces onto the tray. Used to come with classical holes, but now you just get the standard tray, which I think is better. And this helps keep the assembly stable, and of course the legs can be adjusted up and down to make it more level. But this here is what I kind of recommend more for beginners, because you'll get far more fun out of it, especially if you've polar aligned it quite well. Again, it doesn't have to be spot on, but the better the polar alignment, the less fiddling you're going to have to do to keep tracking the object. So anyway, hope that's been informative for you and helped a bit, and we're going to be talking about solar projection shortly.